So at the same time you putting all this energy and effort into football, you still cross Atlantic.
No doubt. I'm talking about equally. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why I say I live two lives. I go to football practice, go to game, because you got to think, you know, I was going to college. It wasn't no doubt. I mean, I was in the press telegram. I had all the college, you know, a lot of colleges, you know, trying to recruit me. But at the same time, the homie, I never forget, I'm at Gar High School, the homie paged me. We had pagers back then. The homie Goldie from Ludus Park paged me and shit. Man, yeah, he'll let me borrow a motherfucking pistol grip pump. You know what I mean? So I'm 10th grade at Gar High School, you know, and Goldie called, he paged me. Tell my teacher I need to use the restroom and shit. I go to the restroom. Goldie, what's up, homie? He said, man, I need that pump. I need that gauge. I'm like, dude, I got a test in about an hour, homie. I'm at school. He like, man, I could be up there in 30 minutes. Just come out to the parking lot. I'll grab it. But we at Gar High and Cerritos. Dude, I can't pull out no pistol grip pump in the parking lot. So I tell him, take my car and just leave your car. You know what I mean? So, I mean, motherfucker was active.
Yeah.
You know?
And to go back to your paperwork, I believe the assistant attorney mentions that you had multiple opportunities to play sports in college, but decided to do this instead.
But decided to do that instead. But you know, you got to realize, I don't know if you ever been in love before. It's nobody, you know, I don't count my kids because that's a different love. But I mean, nobody outside of that, man, for most of my, you know, 90% of my life. Well, as an adult, you know, man, Piru was everything to me.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that when you're in the streets, there's like an addiction.
No doubt.
And it's you might say to yourself, I want to leave this alone, but I love it too much.
Well, you know, that's for some of us. Some of us do it to get by. Some of them dudes do it to get by. You know what I mean? Because they live in the hood, they can't escape it. You know what I mean? Which is different from the day. But back in the day, you lived in the set. You know what I mean? So you couldn't escape nothing. So if you had you did anything faulty, you know what I mean? Hey, somebody gonna send somebody to your house. Hey, come up to the elementary school, and that's when motherfuckers was gonna get regulated. You was gonna get disciplined. You was gonna get championed if you did something good, but you couldn't escape it. So you had to. Some people had to be a part of it. For dudes like me, I naturally just was in love with the root. You know what I mean?
So while you were playing football and representing Cross Atlantic, did you manage to avoid juvenile cases?
I did, you know what I mean? And the cold part about it is if you go check the history, like I keep saying, check the Carfax. I wasn't shy from putting in the work. I put in some work before I go to school 7 in the morning, you know what I mean? You know, and even, you know, when you get into later on my robbery, I was in the 12th grade, you know what I mean? And it wasn't a robbery. I was dropping my little homeboy off at school at Lynwood High. Now I'm finna get on the freeway, go to Gar High. Crips threw a rock at my car and banged on me, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of kids out here and shit. I can't gun him down. You know what I mean? So I pull it out and give me what y'all got. You know what I mean? So I didn't give a fuck about what they had. It's just I'm finna humiliate y'all for trying to act like y'all some super Crips and bang on me. And I robbed their ass and I went to school. You know what I mean? So even when I played football, I never forget I got rushed by the Palmers and shit. Because even at guard, it was Crips over there. The Palmers was deep over there when we got on there. The Compton was not, you know what I mean? And I ran all they fades and, you know, got down with them. And nothing I tell you on this motherfucker gonna be faulty. Because that ain't what type of, anybody motherfucker fuck with me know I'm 100, you know?
Now, what did the football coaches and people who saw talent in you say about, you know, you gotta, you know, you got talent, but you're getting in trouble?
Well, the thing about it is when I got the guard, it was white coaches. It was a different, when I got there, Alley's opposed to Lynwood High, they got all the classes I needed to go to a 4-year. They made sure they had my back. The principal loved me. Mind you, they hadn't been to the playoffs since the 70s. We took them there. You know what I mean? And now they got a winning team. You know, now they alive, they vibrant. You know what I mean? So what they did was they ate up some of the shit, me getting in the fights on campus with certain motherfuckers, you know. And then a lot of the dudes that was coming up there was already out of high school. So I could say like 5 or 6 of the fades I ran was dudes that already was out of high school. They might have even went there before or not, but you came up to a high school to get down with a high schooler. So it was a lot of times that I didn't get faulted based on a grown man or per se 18-year-old, 19-year-old came up to the high school to get down with me. So you don't even know how many fades I ran and didn't even get booked on them because somebody came up here to this high school. But they knew what time it was. They knew what they dealing with. They dealing with an athlete who's troubled. You know what I mean, with this gang thing, and we gonna try to work with him as long as we winning. If we was losing, they probably would have kicked me out that motherfucker a long time ago.
Now, who were some other talented dudes from the streets that played ball too?
Shit, Jamar Bradley. He got now Dre G. You know what I mean? Dre G played corner. You know what I mean? All the homies played sports. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, back then, all the homies played sports, but they was from the hood, even the Rips. You know what I mean?
So some of the teammates were from opposing sets, though.
No doubt. That's why my relationship with the Lynwood Hoods is what it is now. We got it in back in the day, but dude, we knew each other first. They didn't even call me FG. You call me by my Frank Thornton. Frank Thornton came through here, or we hollered, we seen Frank Thornton jumped out. It was a difference back then. You know, you actually knew these dudes, you know, from Lynwood. Now when we get to beefing with the Tanners and shit like that, no, you didn't know them dudes. Them dudes was just crib that, you know, it wasn't no relationship. You know what I mean? And that was a whole different beef. You know what I mean? It was different because you didn't give a fuck about them and they didn't give a fuck about you.
So you go to high school in Cerritos, Gar, for 10th, 11th, 12th?
10th, 11th, 12th, but except for one stint, my mother and father, you know, in '89, they broke up, sold the house. And my mother moved to Inglewood, and my father moved over there in Compton. So I went to live with my mom for a little bit in Inglewood, and I went to Inglewood High for a quick second. I played in one football game and we got smashed by Culver City. I never forget, you know. But I was in the newspaper because I had so many tackles at this time. It was like something, I guess, extraordinary and shit. And I got up out of there because I didn't see no future. Now, don't get me wrong, the homies was deep at Inglewood. You know what I mean? I had never been to a blood school like that. You know what I mean? And when I went there, it was like blood central. You know what I mean? And I always had a head on my shoulder, but at the same time, I knew that fucking around up here, I already know where this headed, you know what I mean? And I played one game for him, went back to Gar and Cerrito, finished playing out my career over there in high school.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Feel free to comment below so you can give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related episodes to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description, and thanks for watching StreetTV.net.